And we've seen some people play the Magistus, although nothing triggering the radar here. No Magistus cards to be seen. So we'll find out if just slow and steady wins the race. Not this high ceiling of combo, but just getting it done. But starting by getting it done, Ash Blossom going to stop them Voltrami Purulia right off the bat.
And that's also going to now allow James to utilize his Azuna.
K9 card certainly great at punishing effects in the hand and the graveyard, but you still wanted to activate the Voltrami Purulia. No misplaying here. But the Izuna will send the Lupus to the graveyards, and Lupus will jump on out.
Can you prevent like shuffling in between actions? Just shuffle if you're going to draw a card, I'll cut at that point.
My apologies.
You're good.
Yeah, so here he knows that Ripper's going to hit the field, so I think it's just kind of one of those of let's conserve time and not shuffle between every interaction.
We'll activate Ripper's effect.
Good looking out. Try to give your duelist as much time on the clock as possible so you both get to play a fair game. Doesn't result in a double loss here, so great sportsmanship as we go back into the deck. You know you're going back in, so what card are we going to grab now? It is going to be K9 Leroy and grabbing a case, or excuse me, K9 X Force Release.
Yeah, so this is really worst case scenario for Julian. He didn't get to resolve his Purulia. Now the K9 cards get to work at their kind of peak potential. Now, this Crystron, very combo-oriented deck, is going to be able to play more insulated with Ripper on the field.
Yeah, when you think about all the things Purulia could have done, it's technically down 2 cards it would have drawn so far. And after bringing out the Lantern, we go ahead and search a case for K9, use a case for K9, and then we get, I imagine the Joke Cool. You get to see some of the great Crystron targets there in the deck as he cycles through.
After that,
that's like another copy of
Lantern. I like the K9 Leroy's
Mm-hmm.
effect. I'll send a case for K9 at cost to look at the hand.
Now he's going to be able to take a peek at the hand and note that there is
Thank
no interactions there.
None at all.
So all engine for Julian.
And already has the Ecclesia in hand, not usually what people tend to want, but now we're going to make Infinitrack River Stormer. But you can't because you should be locked into K9 summon, so good looking out. Your choices then would be Jax.
That is my first one.
I think the judges just interacting real briefly, asking, hey, that's a procedural error minor. Have you made this mistake before? Okay, cool, that's fine.
Off, by the way.
And he, did declare the intent to go into the extra deck there and make an Exceed summon, so Jax is going to be hitting the field.
What you think?
More than welcome to.
Thank you.
Yeah, this might be a real big misstep here from James.
Yeah, burning off those extra resources to make a monster you didn't need in the moment. But let's see if that extra Lantern does help out here, revealing it and getting Lupus back onto the field. Strong start, but maybe not the direction he was hoping to go, but it looks like we're going to link these off for SP Little Knight.
Like the Crystron inclusion at a Crystron.
Oh, and here comes the Crystrons.
Yeah, so theoretically, even if it was improperly summoned, that River Stormer would have indicated to Julian that he was playing against the Crystron variation of deck. That's very specific to that. This inclusion itself, though, will also do that. And now we have Crystron Sulfidor hit the field. And, if you're familiar with this strategy, you're going to find those 2 1-ofs. Jasturvan and Smigger.
Activate this friend's effect.
It's true that the K9 Crystron, like the Crystron element to the deck has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller over the tournaments.
And we'll activate Fafnir's effect. We'll discard
so both of these have graveyard effects, depending on which one we're talking about. Smigger allows him to search out a spell. Jasturvan will allow him to search out a monster.
We'll see the monster he chooses. It's going to be Tristaros.
We'll then activate the graveyard effect of Crystron Smigger.
Yeah, we got a tutor and non-tutor monster on the field.
For a Crystron spell trap card.
Smigger being banished, just like you said. Time to grab another K9 card, or excuse me, Crystron card.
Search for Crystron Cluster.
They're all friends here.
Again, if you could just avoid shuffling your deck.
Understood.
Just no need.
Synchro for Crystron Eleskeletus.
There's Crystron Eleskeletus out of the extra deck.
Banish the hand.
The combos continue, and a great pace of play when you think about how many moves have been accomplished so far.
Crystron Smigger and Crystron Cluster.
Right. And Julian even emphasizing,
try
to avoid shuffling when unnecessary, which is a very healthy habit to be in.
Look at your
right? The shuffling in between interactions, in and of itself, when you have to shuffle the deck maybe more thoroughly later on after doing additional other searches. It is a way of saving 30, 40, 50 seconds. And with the possibility of double losses at this point of the tournament, neither player really wants that.
Oh, yeah, and I did mention maybe there's no World Championship difference, but I think there is technically when you think about it. Julian, so used to those little cards that they put on top of their decks at the World Championship showing this deck hasn't been shuffled. Then at the end of the turn or when you're going to draw a card, you go ahead and shuffle it just like James is doing now. So good looking out, great habits to pass on.
We do have a field here that doesn't have Spell Canceller, but is utilizing the cluster, right? Crystron cluster interaction, the Infinity, Ripper itself, SP Little Knight. There's a whole lot here that Julian's going to have to try to play through.
Cyber Dragon Infinity is certainly powerful, but that SP Little Knight being able to protect the cards equally good. So we're going to start off with Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, tribute for its special summon effect.
Right, and he can special summon that because his opponent controls a monster, plenty of
several monsters.
K9 Ripper to negate two of those.
Sure.
Resolve Intrastaros.
So we're going to go ahead and negate the effect there, it appears, of the Moltrami Fawalas that was chained, and good looking out there from Julian. Trying to get the most, but now we're also going to go ahead and Synchro Summon here.
Yeah, it's very heads up there that he utilized the effect of his Ecclesia. All of a sudden now he has no field. The Tristaros gets activated in response. He then has the ability to activate Fawalos. Unfortunately, the Ripper is there, but it is a way of potentially getting Ripper out of the way.
Yeah, but that FA Dawn Dragster being able to negate spells and traps, the same as the Cyber Dragon Infinity, we know that Julian's deck is really about activating spell cards once you get them, and unless he's got a Dracotail Phimina that he's able to pull out here, it's going to be very difficult to get through. And even then, you still have SP Line and Cyber Dragon Infinity if you're not allergic to spells.
No quick effects at resolution.
So now we see here multiple copies of Ecclesia in Julian's deck.
Gives you a lot of consistency, and it does sort of power up the Fallen and the Virtuous. You always have that secondary effect because you've got an Ecclesia monster nearby. But almost an embarrassment of riches there on James's side, but hasn't really activated too many of the effects, just saving it.
No quick effects.
Now we see the Phimina.
Yeah, Lucius allows him to search Phimina, so Julian is putting up a little bit of a fight here.
One would hope so. It'd be bad if it was the player to watch and then he didn't make it, but we are going to discard the Phimina. That's going to trigger, well, cause James to activate the effect of Cyber Dragon Infinity to negate it. Instead, we'll then Xyz summon here. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's not a spell, that's not a trap, that's not a monster effect activating in the hand.
And that plays around just about everything.
Yeah, the SP Little Knight may be able to get some stuff done, but then the monsters are cleared off the field.
Yep, it's going to get rid of the quick play.
And FA Dawn Dragster to banish them until the end phase.
It's going to get rid of the forced release. It's going to get rid of the cluster.
Still exciting to see Exciton do so much, but why don't we chain Crystron Cluster here on James' side of the field?
K9 Jax to destroy it and shuffle a Crystron from grave or banished into deck. And I'll chain K9 Forced Release.
And we're also going to use K9 X Forced Release.
I'll summon a Werewolf, destroy the Exciton Knight.
Bring out the Werewolf, destroy the Exciton Knight. Go ahead and target our K9 X Jax.
Crystron Eleskeletus.
So this is the cluster effect that's resolving here.
Returning Eleskeletus there, and SP Little Knight's going to go ahead and banish that in the FA Dawn Dragster, preserving that spell and trap negate. So James mostly cleaning up shop on his own field like really, really well.
So let's talk a little bit about, I think, a really important point. One of the conversations we had this weekend is, would you rather play branded Dracotail or use the Magistus cards? And one of the points that we made yesterday is that if you go full combo, high ceiling, you're going to lose out on some extra deck cards. We just saw the value of Exciton Knight with multiple copies of Incredible Ecclesia. So clearly Julian knew that I'm going to go a little bit lower ceiling in terms of what my full combo can do, because I want that utility in some of those games where things just get really, really clustered and really, really difficult to push through. Having a card like Exciton Knight in his extra deck, I think, has really taken James by surprise.
Oh, huge looking out there. And as he examines his own extra deck, I think about mine. And when you do play branded Dracotail with Magistus, you end up on weird numbers, right? You might do 2 Arthalion, 1 Gulamel, and it just feels so cramped as you get into later grind games after those cards get banished. But speaking of the extra deck, we did activate Rahu Dracotail. Looks like we're sending Urgla and another monster to the grave, so we will get Dracotail Arthalion.
New chain.
So our effects there. It looks like it was Malulu that was sent to the graveyard from the Rahu Dracotail as well.
Chain 1, Artha.
Arthalion's going to grab the Fallen of the White Dragon.
Chain 2, Urgla. Chain 3, Malulu.
That's not bad. This may be his ticket back into this game.
So
yeah, that's really impressive. The fact that he had Exciton Knight in his extra deck has completely changed the calculus, looking at how he had to play through that board. Because as you were mentioning, he put the FA on the field, so which means he had even additional spell and trap negation. Luckily, though, for Julian, he was able to do that entirely utilizing monsters.
Good looking out, setting a signal, I believe it was Dracotail Sting to the field. Kind of telegraphs a little bit of information. Taking a look at the K9 Lupus, just making sure, okay, when does it trigger and how does it come out?
Sorry.
No worries.
And maybe look at this one more time.
Got a lot of cards in there. Okay.
White's a few. White's a few.
Puts it back into the deck.
Yeah, he's got plenty of cards in the graveyard, so it does, you know, justifiable to take a couple peeks just to make sure.
No quick effects of resolution.
I love when it's canonically set, right? The Malulu set the Sting, the Pan, there's going to be the Dracotail Urgula set the Flame. Everybody doing what they're supposed to. And speaking of doing what they're supposed to, it's time for Fall of the White Dragon. Special summoning itself by sending Albion, the branded dragon, to the graveyard.
Nothing on White Dragon's effect to summon.
Res.
Nothing here.
Urgula targeting 5 mana.
Now we're going to get the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Slash interaction on James's turn. This was really just a masterclass by Julian, showing you how to break through a board and do so without relying on spell cards.
Yeah, especially for a deck that usually gets shut down when it doesn't have access to spell cards.
No
Had a little trouble getting there, but there we go. We got the Urgula to the bottom of the deck. And grabbing the Femina to the hand. Take a look at our set traps. Still have a couple of options.
Leaving main phase is good.
End phase. Albion, the branded dragon.
Going for the end phase, we're going to set with Albion, the branded dragon. And he's taking a look again.
This was properly summoned or no?
Yeah, so we did properly summon the Cyber Dragon Infinity. Just takes 2 level 5 machines, and those were in great supply in a K9 Crystron deck between your machines, Crystron, that's no stranger there, but also Noroi, the K9 side of things.
So now we'll see a set during the end phase of the Fallen and the Virtuous.
Anything juicy in here?
Still an incredible card, but remember you're going to have to deal with the FA Dawn Dragster, so it's going to be interesting when those monsters return back to the field. I think James still has 2 very powerful cards, and he's not really staring down that much of an offense or defense from Julian. Obviously, Dracotail Sting is good and impressive against K9 Crystron because of how many different graveyard effects it has. But the Dawn Dragster, they've got to pick and choose.
So he's going to just add it to his hand so that he can activate it.
Oh, he's going to destroy his own card?
Spell to follow.
Well, that looks like he was going to summon Malulu, but unfortunately that was met with Ghost Bell.
Response.
And now the Incredible Ecclesia will be added back to the hand.
That makes sense. I always forget about the Ecclesia side of the Fallen and the Virtuous because the card just wasn't used for that last format, but now that Ecclesia is everywhere, it is just a quick play monster reborn.
Draw for turn?
Yeah.
It's a draw for turn.
In the draw phase duelist?
Take a look at the graveyard. It is a really stacked graveyard. Julian was right there.
Yeah.
Like almost 30 plus cards in this graveyard.
How many cards in hand?
And he's on a 42 card list, so that also does mean, though, in a sense, he's burned through a lot of his options and a lot of his combo. As he's playing 2 ofs of some of those extra deck monsters, which I do not believe he would be wise to do so. I think we're going to have to see something completely new here.
No, I think his extra deck is 15 1-ofs, I would imagine.
Certainly very common in a deck like this, not so much on the fusion side of things. But it looks like we're going over a for Wallows.
I think he has a Scrap Recycler in his hand.
And Scrap Recycler could really get a lot done. But
banish it for cost.
You are going to have to worry about the Draco Tail Sting down there. And then if you stop the Draco Tail Sting with the FA Dawn Dragster, well, now you can't really do anything spell card-wise because of the Draco Tail Flame set on Julian's side of the field. Julian patiently rocking back and forth in his chair.
And
so we see Crystron Tristaro hit the field.
Crystron Smiger.
Looks like Smiger.
Sure.
I'll activate Crystron Sulfur.
No response on that.
Smiger,
trying to target the Sulfador in the graveyard. Lets it go. Does not activate the Draco Tail Sting.
Thinking on triggers here.
Destroy the Smiger. And also get to grab.
No effect of Sulfador on summon.
No Sulfador effect.
I will attempt to activate Smiger's effect in the graveyard. I'll banish it to search
as you mentioned, he started this turn with nearly 30 plus cards in the graveyard, it seemed like. A bit of an exaggeration, but he's out of a lot of engine, at least to index, so it makes sense not to send anything.
Inclusion.
You want to draw cards like Inclusion.
So grabbing the Crystron Inclusion. Certainly has gas left in
your
the tank. I
machine
mean, you're
locked
only
from the
staring
extra
those
deck,
two
correct?
trap
That's
cards,
correct,
so it's
because
not
you use
as
the
bad as it could be. But looks like we're going to synchro summon here. Or Link,
Crystron
but there's our
Skeletus,
7,
and
another
on
Crystron
summon activate his effect,
Skeletus.
add a Crystron name from grave or banished to hand.
Sure.
So lots of recursion for this deck. And still a lot of life
Add
left. And
Crystron
I always
plus
find
to
that there's
hand.
like one successful Crystron duelist in the tournament, and they almost always make the top cut.
Yeah, I
Here,
think that's a
I'll
pretty
chain
fair
Dawn Dragster to
assessment. It
attack
does
mode,
seem like the deck certainly has
I
the
will attempt
ability to do
leave
so,
main phase.
but it just takes a pilot with a lot of experience.
Mana.
But here's the discard of Fimena. So we did know that Julian had that.
In
He added
response
it
to
to his
Fimena's
hand at the end
effect,
of
I
the
will attempt
previous
to chain
turn.
Little Knight, targeting herself and Fallen of White to banish him until the end phase.
So now the SP Little Knight will be activated in the chain, and this will make it so that there's less material for him to fuse.
Right, so see what the backup fusion summon will be. Julian eyeballing the
This makes my
Secretariat, but it
monsters
looks
lose
like maybe it's an
25,
Arthalion after all.
500 both, attack
Correct.
and defense.
Correct.
Do you have any triggers on a new chain?
Doesn't look like there are any triggers in the grave there, but James just checking
Correct.
nonetheless.
Using Arthalion and Ecclesia.
No triggered effects on Arthalion summon.
Alright, I'll go Chainlink 1, Artha, targeting Dawn Dragster.
Right, so Arthalion,
Ooh.
that's
I will
good
attempt
too,
to
by the way. The
chain
Dawn
link two,
Dragster really has
activate
been a
Lupus to
drag
summon
on
from
Julian's
graveyard.
game plan.
Right, so this will unlock the
Sure.
spell and trap cards, which he's going to value so much in terms of the recyclability of his Draco Tails.
And then Dawn Dragster will be returned to the
Yep,
extra
so
deck
now Dawn
because
Dragster goes
Arthalion.
back to the extra deck.
You can continue. I'm just going to look at your grave while you continue.
Which is
Understood.
almost not the worst thing, because if James ends up with a tuner
And
and a
how many cards
non-tuner again, he
Four.
can just
Four.
make the Dawn
I know,
Dragster.
trapping
And he's running out of options from the extra deck,
Here,
having special
I will
summon so many
activate
different cards this
Crystron
duel.
Sulfafnir's effect. I'll discard Inclusion to summon himself and destroy a card I control.
Alright, so discarding the Crystron Inclusion. Go special summon a monster.
Summon.
Yeah, it's going to
destroy.
be...
Because he was destroyed, I'll attempt to
the
activate Crystron
Sulfanir.
Skeletus effect.
So
summon
not to be
Crystron
confused with
Yeah.
Sulfador.
Yeah, they both have level 5. They have, I would say, somewhat similar effects, but in the essence, they both serve similar roles.
A Crystron card that has a similar effect to another Crystron card? You don't say. Certainly does take a duelist with a lot of
Summon
experience to appreciate the
Crystron
nuance of all
Tristars.
these individual cards to be able to get to this
How
situation.
many cards in
Speaking of
extra?
situations,
At this
5
point,
plus 2 equals 7. We may be seeing that Dawn Dragster
8.
show back
Gotcha,
up.
Thank you.
here, I'll go ahead
They also
and
have the
summon
ability to exceed summon with the 2 level
Oh.
5s.
for Chronomaly.
Ooh, we might go
Vimana.
into the
Wow,
Yes.
Chronomalies. We're doing this.
I'll go
Vimana.
ahead and attempt to end main phase.
Let me read this real quick.
Such a
Everything
powerful
is at
card.
normal
Yeah,
stats?
2 material,
Yes.
detach, negate. And, machines are what it requires, but that is not hard to come by in this deck.
Well, is it machines? Is it 2 machines? Because there was a Lupus that was used for this.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It is a machine. It is
Yeah.
a machine.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're good.
I will attempt to move to battle phase.
Sure.
Julian,
I'll declare
all
an
caught
attack
up
with
to speed with
Vimana
the card
and
stacks.
Arthalion.
Sure.
You have
And
anything
again,
before the damage
there's no
step?
offense. You
In
read
damage
those
step,
cards when you get a
I'll
chance
activate
to
Vimana's effect, targeting itself and Canine Werewolf in the graveyard. The targeted monster on field will gain half of the target
Sure.
engraves effect. It will attach as material. So Vimana is gaining 33 divided by 2. That
So it's
should
gonna have
be
33?
1650 plus 23. That would be 3950.
Yeah, so I'll take 950.
Yep. So it
So
should put you at
950
7050, I
Across the
believe.
port
Correct.
bow there as Draco Tail Arthalion goes to the graveyard.
Yeah, great communication, being very
And then
methodical
I'll
with
attack
the
directly
math.
for Crystron Tristaris for
It's
800.
important.
take it.
Tournament
So you
policy
can do
guidelines say you need to keep track of that math on paper.
So it is interesting.
I
He
will
threatened that
proceed
spell and trap card
to
negate for much of
second
the
main
first,
phase.
let's say, turn and a half, and now he's threatening the monster negate.
Correct.
Switch gears,
I will
you're
set
not
one card
as
face
worried
down.
about the Draco Tail Sting if you've just kind of used up everything from your graveyard
I
while
will
you
attempt
have the
to
Great Spell and
move
Trap
to my
negate.
end phase.
That is FA Dawn Dragster, and it's still
Sure.
in the extra deck, so if we go to another turn this
end
duel,
phase.
James is just sitting on
activate
powerful
Ecclesia.
effect after powerful
Would you mind
effect.
if I have a look in the graveyard as well, duelist? Thank you.
And now we'll have Ecclesia returning back to his hand. Just the ability to constantly have monsters in hand for future Draco Tail
I will
summons,
attempt
but
to chain Chronomaly
Ecclesia in and of
Vimana.
itself
I will
also being
detach the
threatening.
materials to
Really
negate,
impressive. Wow, so
the
threatening
activation
that he's
of
actually
this
electing to negate that
Sure.
effect.
Wow. I don't think I've ever
Sting,
seen that happen, but we are going to go ahead and use the Draco Tail Sting. So one great graveyard disruption deserves
Please do.
another. So in
No
revenge,
response.
let's get rid of the Crystron
I'm good to
Inclusion
go.
and
I
the
have
Canine
Bond in my deck.
Lupus.
You shuffled.
I believe so. What about?
Tell you, Clay's come a long way. I know that's literally the plot of the animation, but to see her go from something that was a niche card used in Sword Soul to being this powerful, motivating strategy at the top tables is just such a cool glow up for that card. But SP Little Knight going to return Albaz and itself back to the field.
Fualos, not a great draw.
Nope. It's a Draco Tail material from the hand.
This has to target an XYZ monster to gain attack.
Target one face-up monster on the field and one Xyz monster or Chronomaly in my graveyard.
So just clarifying the exact method of increasing the attack.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Do you have any
It does
quick
gain the
effects
attack
in the draw
until
phase
the end
duels?
phase.
No.
But it
In
is
the
a
draw
quick
phase, I'll
effect, so he
activate
would be able
Vimana's
to
effects.
activate it
I'll
here,
target
which would
its-
then allow
I'll
him to have
target
another monster negate.
Certainly powerful.
Canine Werewolf and itself.
So now we're seeing a chain of the Fallen and the Virtuous. So that was the other card that he drew, specifically off of Flame. So by sending
I will
Albion, this will
attempt to
destroy
chain
Vimana.
I couldn't
SP
imagine
Little
you'd
Knight's
use
effects.
SP Little Knight to try to
Will
protect
target
it since it wouldn't have
Vimana
Xyz
and
materials.
Fallen of White to banish them until the end phase.
Seems unlikely.
But I think we did activate SP Little Knight to try to... Oh! Interesting.
I'll attempt to chain Crystron Cluster, targeting the Fallen and the Virtuous to destroy it and shuffle a Crystron from graveyard banish.
So trying to negate the spell to get the draw to put him in a better situation, but using the Crystron
Shuffle
Cluster
back
to
Sulfur
destroy
Door.
the spell before it's negated to avoid the draw.
And this will recycle one of his Crystrons.
That's almost like a niche... Reminds me of the use case of double Cyclone against Dracotail. That's a cool maneuver, and something
Knight
you
will
only get from
banish
just playing this
Vimana
deck
and
over and
Fallen
over and
of
over.
I thought you
Yeah.
did you not target your SP?
I believe I targeted Vimana and Fallen of White.
Okay. Sorry. I must have misheard. My bad.
No trouble.
So it does look like he elected
only
to go
one
with
material on
the
that thing?
Vimana.
I
There
guess
was,
you're just
and
going to absorb
Yeah.
something
yeah,
later,
there
maybe
was
gain
because I
attack,
hadn't
and it
resolved
is
the
just a
effect to attach to the
body.
second.
But that is an interesting choice.
Gotcha.
I mean, if Julian can't deal with the SP, and I know he just has Fualos in
attempt
hand,
to go to main phase. Attempt to leave main phase. End phase.
that SP is just going to sit there. So, you know,
Ecclesia.
maybe it was an efficient
I'll
use of
attempt to
that
change
card.
Kristaros to summon a Crystron from deck and immediately Synchro Summon after.
Thinking.
So it looks like we've activated in response here.
Chain Fua.
Oh, nice. Okay, slip it
No
in the
response.
Fualos before we get the special summon from the deck and then possible Synchro Summon.
Yeah, so this will net him some.
Silphidor, he'll draw one.
During the end phase, of course,
Yeah,
but it's still
but-
not bad.
Things can happen during the end phase.
Summon
Yeah.
Fate on Dragster, you'll draw
Right,
a
he
second.
could draw Vimana.
Looks like he drew Rahu Dracotail from my eye.
Yeah. So now I'd be concerned if you're a fan of Julian. I finally think his resources have been whittled down sufficiently enough.
That might be the one
you
thing
chain-
Julian doesn't have going
I'll
for him.
use our
Considering
Diamond
his
Effect from
lightning fast career,
response.
he hasn't experienced, the dread of loss, right?
chain,
To
I'll
crest at the
use
top cut, to
Diamond
almost
Effects.
make it, and then have to just, well, go back and try
response.
again.
But we do see the Ardelion hit the field. And we see the reset now.
We're in my end phase, correct?
That is correct.
Searching the deck here, this was likely off of the Albion, the Branded Dragon set, it appears.
It is, and I think he's electing to go with follow-up as
Mhm.
opposed to more interaction
I'll
to get
pass.
that branded
And
fusion
then
in
lastly,
hand.
I'll resolve
Oh, yeah,
Little Knight's
sorry.
effect. You'll get
Resolve.
White Dragon, I'll
Yep,
get
yep.
Vimana.
So now White
It was an
Dragon comes
attack, right?
back,
That is
Vimana
correct.
comes back. The concern that will be potentially here for Julian is
Do you
that
have a ruling
Vimana
question?
will be able to
Since
activate
Chronomaly
both
Vimana
on
left the
James'
field
turn,
and
but
then
then again on
returned to the
Julian's
field,
turn to get back
Would
to
it be a legal activation to activate Chronomaly Vimana's effect?
Usually
during the
K9 Crystron has been a very explosive deck. Of course, it can grind like nobody's business and has been a terror of different formats for that purpose. But lately it had been seen as more of a combo deck. But to watch it just go toe-to-toe with Branded Dracotail in its newest form, it's actually a
is
really
correct.
cool duel, although I will say it has taken 20
Understood.
minutes for this
That
game
is
one.
my-
Neither duel is
another
sitting on their
action during the end
hands.
phase.
They're trying to play
I'll
as
attempt
many
Vimana's
card effects
effect,
as they can, but
targeting
that's
itself,
quite a few card effects as we see from that stack
and
graveyard on
Cyber
both
Dragon Nova.
sides.
Sure.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I feel like Crystron K9 is so well known for comboing on the first turn, any on Spell Canceller, in a swift game one. James has really
Any
elected
more
just to
asks?
try and, with cards like
I'll drop
Cluster,
turn.
really play the actual Crystron cards themselves
Proceed to standby phase.
and
main
do
phase
what
one.
you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Try to go into those longer grind games.
And speaking of grind, using the Chronomaly Vimana to go ahead and grab the Cyber Dragon Infinity and attach it from the graveyard. Now we're getting back to those materials. Now we even have another monster negate, and then we have the FA Dawn Dragster. It's kind of closing in against Julian here. Now he's got so much follow-up. If Julian can survive long enough to get to his own turn, he's okay. If he's able to strategically play through both the Spell and Trap negate and the Monster negate.
There's only 25 minutes left.
But Scrap Recycler may throw a wrench in the gears there.
I will change FA Dawn Dragster to attack mode. I will proceed to battle phase. Start a battle phase. I'll activate Cluster's effect, carding Arthalion.
Sure.
Use Arthalion's going to get banished because that was one of the ones that came from the grave, I believe. And then, of course, the Crystron Skeletus recycled, so it can come back. So great grind game.
Yep, allowing you to recycle resources. That's actually one of the things that I think dramatically favors James right now. Julian has been running out of resources in terms of actually having names in his deck.
1600 next.
I feel like every time I see Crystron, it's a different deck with the same cards.
And then I will activate Chronomaly Vimana's effect. I will target itself.
Just about how you play it, how you utilize that strategy.
To gain 1650 attack
and
points.
We're going to target Exceeds monster, gain some attack points, attach material.
Declare an attack with Chronomaly Vimana.
That's game, right?
And that is game, Julian says to himself.
Just double checking.
Do I have anything?
Take a look at the graveyard. Is there anything you could do? Did I miss something?
No,
that's it. Shuffling his cards back. Julian has conceded game one.
Avoid the double loss.
I'll go first. Good luck.
Well, tune in to find out as we enter game 2 of round 12 here at YCS Richmond. And we're starting off with Branded Fusion getting hit by Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, a match made in heaven, but now Phimina is discarded.
I'm not sure I love Branded Fusion being hit by Ash Blossom as much this weekend. I think I'd wait on some of the other cards in the Dragon Tail matchup. But Branded Fusion is the best quote-unquote bait for that imaginable. But here we have Phimina, and we'll be able to search our deck for a copy of Rahu, double add back. So we'll have the Phimina back and the Droll Lockbird back. Now he's going to activate the Rahu. He's going to conduct a fusion summon, Phimina from his hand, and now he'll be utilizing another card from his deck. And I'll be able to set at least one, probably two differing Draco Tail trap cards.
And good looking out on the side decking as you saw him scroll through his list of cards. I definitely saw at least 2 Dragon's Mine in the deck.
Yeah, it's because one is in his hand.
Oh, nice. So he went all out to try to prepare for this particular duel to shut his opponent down. And I think he is well on the way to do that.
Yep, so he's got the Gulamel on the field. So now he'll set 2 Draco Tail traps with the Dragon's Mind and the Droll Lockbird. I mean, this is, from Julian's perspective, just exactly what you want. An Ash Blossom that was really low impact.
No response.
And then the ability to establish a great field with Dragon's Mind. This is about one of the fastest ways that he could actually win.
And we're going to go ahead and place the Urgula face down the bottom of the deck. Just got to pick the deck up. There we go. And grab Phimina back to the hand.
Yep, so Dragon Mind set. Now he has Phimina in hand. This is just what he wants. This could be a very swift game 2 in favor of Julian.
Do you know what's so interesting about setting the Dragon's Mind? Is that it looks like you opened with the 3rd Draco Tail trap in your hand, because that's such a common maneuver where they'll set like the Flame and the Horn, and you're like, oh, of course the Sting is the card they just set, but this is anybody's game now as we have a counter trap in the mix.
So we have Sulfidor,
Sulfidor's effect.
And now we have
Sulfidor
on the field. Here's the Dragon Mind, as we were just talking about, negating a monster effect.
2,500 is a sacred number for this card game.
It looks like it's just the Crystron Tristaros.
But unfortunately, without having access to the Draco Tail Horn, not able to get that off the field before the shenanigans begin, since it is an attack mode. But the Draco Tail Sting feels just as good.
I'll attempt to Ash Draco Tail Sting.
Oh, and the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to stop that.
Okay, so now I would like to take back what I said about Branded Fusion. Potentially. I mean, you could maybe have held Ash Blossom longer, but having the second Ash Blossom, it does make it valuable to try and use on Julian's turn. Obviously, having Ash to stop one of the traps is part of the game plan against the strategy. Whether or not you actually ask the Branded Fusion or something else in the strategy, that's a little bit debatable. But something to consider with the double Ash there. Only opening one Ash, you could definitely justify using Ash on a trap card when you're going second.
I noticed they're using the Ash fast when they have 2. The last time we had the same exact opinion was followed up by a Dominus Impulse. So having multiple ways to stop something, that guarantees your first Ash is fine. But yeah, no telling that he had 2 Ashes here, but we do resolve into the Crystron Skeletus with the Synchro Summon. Julian's inner pharaoh trying to tell him what to do next. It looks like Vimena is the play. Fusion summon, no response. I think we're fusing Droll and Lockbird and a Dracotail Arthalion. So a Spellcaster and a Dragon, but no, it's just going to be another Dracotail Arthalion.
Yeah, just showing the usefulness of hand interactions, right? Why, for instance, does in this weekend, and that was the variation that I thought would reign supreme. I thought it would be more popular, which obviously gives it an advantage, but I did inherently think playing a little bit lower to the ground was right. The Exciton Knight didn't necessarily win Julian game 1, but seeing it come up in that way, really impressive.
Ooh, double Perulia. Crystrons are water monsters, but they do not want to see Perulia as a friend. They want to see it not at all. But James is going to have to consider his options here because as he tries to reach for something as powerful as Spell Canceller, it's going to be pretty difficult. But let's go ahead and start with our Crystron Sulfidor.
So that's 2 cards. Alright, looks like you do Momal Charmies, which is obviously not ideal with 2 already active.
So a free pass there, thank goodness. But after we destroy our Crystron monster, let's go ahead and reach into the deck here.
So it'll be interesting to see how much James has prepared for combos. Oh wow! For trying to play combos underneath multiple of the Molcharmies.
I mean to stop you mid-conversation, but Julian stopped James mid-combo.
So Smiger is going to be banished. That allows him to search Spell, which of course is going to be the newly unlimited, as a matter of fact. Crystron Inclusion.
Add a Crystron card.
Now Crystron Inclusion will allow him to search. We know there's no Droll Lockbird. Well, I guess we don't necessarily know that because it would shut down your own Perulia, but he didn't choose to Droll Lockbird after the Smiger. Another monster from hand, so now we have 4 cards to draw in total. I saw another Molcharmy.
Oh yeah, that was another Perulia for sure. Speaking of water monsters, we got Crystron Skeletus hitting the board here.
You added Schmeiger?
That's correct.
Got you. My boy Jesse.
We'll activate Tristras effect. That's fine. Destroy Synchro. Summon 2 names.
Pins and needles. Can you imagine drawing 4 cards and still not being happy with your hand?
This is correct.
Gotcha.
Well, it depends on what the totality of his hand is. At least in a strategy like Draco Tail, you could theoretically use Molcharmies for the purposes of fusion summoning. We saw a similar thing with the Droll and Lockbird in the previous game.
Overlay.
Sure.
Yeah, but James is continuing onward, right? James has now established the 2 level 5s on the field, so now he's going to go to Nova, do Infinity. He's a little bit more isolated combo-wise.
Crystron Smiger.
Wow, he's really just...
we will activate...
Just not cared. You draw as many as you need. I'm going where I'm going.
Now the question is here, can he avoid any more summons from his hand? Certainly, I think he might be able to do a fair amount of this. It depends on exactly where the combo ends. He might not be trying to do the Spell Canceller combo because that would require him to summon the Scrap Recycler from his hand.
Again, one of them is Schmeiger.
That is correct.
I think as he sees that there was no Nibiru the Primal Being, he feels like this is the time to stop.
And I'll draw for turn.
He gave his opponent plenty of cards, but passes, and Julian's going to draw. Let's see what you do with a... Ooh, how would I count? 5, 6, 7 card hand?
That is good.
Yeah, so he would have drawn 4 cards there, and he used one of them, which was Ash Blossom.
Oh,
so now,
dear.
So now we're going to see... is that the 3rd Perulia, and then obviously Fuwalo. So now we see Droplet negate the Infinity and the Vimena. So Julian's probably feeling really good, right? He's still got about 13 minutes left on the clock.
4.
He's got a hand full of cards. He actually looks like he has another Molcharmy.
Yeah, I think there's a Fuwalos in there too. The gang's all here. He's playing a Molcharmy deck.
So, 5 of the top, 12 cards were Molcharmies for him? That's wild.
Yeah.
But here we have Fallen. That's going to send Albion.
I'll attempt to change her
great
stars,
first action.
From deck,
Oh, he's going to be able to activate the Fuwalos here.
Does he chain it?
Oh, he's going to chain Vimena. Okay.
No response to Vimena.
Okay, he's going to choose not to. That makes sense. That would have been funny.
Oh, yeah, but he's not here to horse around. He is here to claim another victory, and his dueling life depends on this. 12 minutes tick down the clock, but Dracotail Arthalion is summoned, and then Fallen with the White Dragon next to it.
Crystron Sulfidor.
So now we're going to see a Synchro Summon.
It's got to be Dawn Dragster,
Dawn Dragster, absolutely.
Because it is so good. What do you need the Spell Canceller for when you have basically up to 2 Spell and Trap negates if you include the Cyber Dragon Infinity, or up to 2 Monster negates if you include the Cyber Dragon Infinity?
So it's
it was ideal to layer that, right? He had the Droplet earlier in the turn. Had there been the Dragster on the field then certainly that would have also been hit by the Forbidden Droplet.
So Rahu.
So set the Rahu. You're right to say layered. I feel like that's a word we haven't said this entire duel, but you're right. Layered interactions are what Crystron does so well because you think you know the outs, and then new outs appear on the field.
So here we're going to resolve Arthelion. Now Fallen is going to get out the Ecclesia.
Affects you.
Be nice to finally see a Synchro Summon. Here we go.
Finally, I think we're going to be able to see
Special summon.
Summon
Dark
successful.
Dragon.
Effect.
Those at home, it is time to
No
see what the
response.
hubbub is about. If this effect resolves,
So
going to
these
go
are
ahead
all
and
negated,
banish.
Currently, correct.
So Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon is
Cool,
banished.
cool, cool.
Now we're going to get
There you are.
Artesia,
Res.
the alternate art. I like how we said, there you are.
Rahu.
No response.
Now Rahu gets activated. So this will now allow him to conduct
Only card I can make. Artha.
the only one he can make, which is
Send
Arthelion, he said. He's going
Mana.
to use the 5 mana from hand.
Plus-
He's probably going to
Where are
use
you? Where are you?
hand or Urgula.
Chainlink 1, Urgula.
Yep.
Chainlink 2, 5 mana.
No response.
So now
So resolving 5 mana. I'll set Sting. Resolving Urgula. Where are you?
There's the one of Ketsu.
The
Get rid
first
of
one,
Spell
it was
Trap.
Malulu plus
Droll and
Fua.
Lock, or yeah, Charmy. That is correct.
I'll pop that.
So
Very
just
well.
confirming what the fusion materials were
Gotcha.
and getting the canine forced release
Anything
off
on
the field.
res?
No quick effects right now.
and that was naturally drawn, right? There were no canines used on
If
that
I recall
first turn.
correctly,
So
yeah.
Three
that
turns.
was, you know, essentially a
Can I
bluff for
please
all
see your
intents and
graveyard?
purposes.
Thank you.
We know a double Perulia, the canine cards, probably will remain
I'll
in the
go
hand.
Urgula, target 5 mana.
No response to Urgula.
It's going to go ahead and get the 5 mana back, put the Urgla at the bottom of the deck.
Oh, activate.
Julian going as
Ketsu
fast as
Dracotail.
possible. Being respectful
response
in
to
that
Ketsu.
sense, too. You're not just playing fast for your own win. You're trying to make sure that your opponent, he does beat you, at least has better tiebreakers without a double loss.
Yeah, it's actually advantageous to both players for there always to be an outcome. You know, now we have Secretarian Dragon. As we commented on earlier this weekend, Secretarian Dragon is so
Initiators,
fantastic
anything on
because
res?
obviously
Yes,
it
quick
has
effect there.
kind of a
Alt
lockout
impact the
effect
canine-
in mirror match-like
alt impact the
matchups,
canine
but it
Lupus
also in and
summon
of itself can progress your board.
Digging.
Speaking of progressing the board, you mentioned the canine monsters being kind of quiet, but here comes
Contact
canine
canine
Lupus
Lupus
storming the
from Summon.
field.
Which means
This
the
is him
force
and
release
Lumana
wasn't
are tied
necessarily a
behind attack
bluff.
monsters on my field.
Yeah. It's
Oh, and we're
yeah.
doing
Oh,
it.
okay.
Wow.
Lower, but yeah, it's
Right,
fine.
because
That
if he
is
was
correct.
if he needed to Zuna, but if he was able to put a
res,
canine on
I'll
the field, he
activate,
theoretically could have had that forced release. But now we have Typhon, right? This is the power of Lupus.
Targeting.
So how much attack does the Cyber Dragon Infinity have? Because it's natively 2100 and gets 200 for each material under it. And I count, what, 4? Or is that 3? I think that's 3, right? So 2700?
It is under Droplet, which should be noted.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right,
And-
Droplet. So why worry anyway?
No response.
Which is a great reason to go
Looks
ahead and
like-
burn the canine Lupus, of course, to bring out the Typhon.
Yep, so this is Secretarian that's resolving, and Arthelion goes back to the extra deck.
Again.
Lugius hits the field. I think that was a hand that was added.
This is how much?
That's what I saw.
Let's see, it was at
1350. Alright.
Yes,
Yeah, so
that's correct.
1350 attack.
So I haven't used cart yet. Can cart make anything?
It's still a lot of monsters to get through it. If any one of those survives, one of them alone is a threat to Julian's field.
Simple. This is 20 minutes. I can kill
8
that.
minutes tick
This is
down.
26. I can kill that. That has 2k. Those.
Doing some math in his head. Julian maybe trying to close this out right now.
Do I care?
But how?
He still has the Cartasia effect, and you could heard him. You actually heard him say, like, "Okay, I haven't used Cartasia yet. What do I have in the
X? Take this.
Should-
So battle phase, Arthelion attacks
Attack
Typhoon.
this.
By mana down, that's fantastic.
1350, correct?
That is
Yeah, he
correct.
does want to get rid of that
450.
450.
Cyber Dragon Infinity, which means we've cleared out
Should put me at 75.
all of
50,
the
I believe.
meaningful
Yeah,
interactions except the Dragster.
End phase? Or main phase 2, end phase? This comes back.
So Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon back to the field.
Albion. This is
Gonna
dead.
go ahead and use
That's right.
Albion's effect as
Apologies.
well.
So he's going to be able to
Add Fallen to my hand.
add Fallen to hand. So he's going to
Fallen,
actually
target
activate the
on Dragster.
Fallen, and this is going to try to use this on Dragster here. So he's going to send Albalanatus. So
Oh,
now
wow.
Albalanatus is going to resolve during the end phase. And now he's going to put
Ecclesia
the Branded
effects engraved.
Fusion into his hand as follow-up.
Gotcha.
And then he's going to get the
Understood.
Ecclesia. So this is really,
Draw for turn.
really the master class of how to pilot Draco
Normal summon
Tail.
canine
No, it
Normal.
really
I'll take
is. So
effects,
let's
summon
see
canine
if
from deck.
Canine Crystron still has a chance. James, normal summoning Canine Noroi.
I'll chain Sting.
Oh, but going for the Sting here, trying to limit the options for the
Target
follow-up.
Lupus.
So goodbye Canine Lupus. And goodbye Canine X
response.
Force Release. Did go for a single Crystron card there. But
With the Ketsu
recycling the Ketsu Draco Tail immediately. Let's draw, and it's a Droll and Lockbird.
Wow.
That's destiny.
some K9
So now we're going to
Jokel.
see a
On res,
Jokel.
if you have no quick effects.
I have no quick effects here, duelist.
I imagine this is going to be
Cartesia effects.
Cartesia. Right,
Chain
he's
equation.
already has Cartesia on the field. We
Summon
know he has 5
Alphas.
mana. So he also changed Cartesia, chained his Ecclesia, the Dark Dragon, so we have multiple effects in this chain. So
Jade.
we have Mirror Jade coming out through the Arthelion plus
Go
the
ahead and
Fallen.
attempt to leave main phase.
You're right
Show
about it being a
battle phase for
masterclass. He
200
just
Dracotails.
knows it so instinctively, though. He
400,
doesn't
yeah.
think about it. The hands just do what they're supposed to do.
I think I want to be clear, the Dark Dragon put the Fallen, like put
75-50 on my end.
the White
That's
Dragon
fair.
on the field. It just was
And
shortcutted for time, so
there,
players are
I'll go
confused,
ahead
like where
and
did the
move
Fallen
to
of
end
Valdaz's
phase
name
two.
come from?
Oh, that's fair.
That's why he chained the
Resolve this
Dark Dragon.
Albion.
There's another fall in the Virtuous
Anything
here.
else do I have?
I think that means that James is going to the end phase, which is allowing Julian to
I'll
resolve
keep
all
passing.
these effects. He's got just about every possible card that he needs here.
Sure.
Yeah, he's drawing for turn.
Yeah, and you
Main
can
phase,
see
skip to-
James settling into a half smile,
No
nodding
response.
there emphatically at Julian. Yep. Yep.
And James, making Julian play through it, not assuming that the game is over. Sending Urgula to the graveyard, sending Pan to the graveyard. So this is going to put another Arthelion on the field, which
Sending
was
one Artha,
recycled on the
chaining
previous
two
turn.
Pan.
Just a quick thumb through there. James
Chaining
takes a
3
quick look at the
Artha
camera. I
engrave.
think he knows what others may know
Alpha
too.
Artha
There's
get this
very,
Understood.
there's a difficult road ahead for him for sure. But with all those monsters on the field,
Pan
4
pop.
fusions, 1 synchro, destroying your K9 Arroy.
Battle.
Good game, Julian.
Yeah,
Your
there
battle
we go.
phase, and there's the handshake.